Yeah, if you've been streaming for a long time at this point and still don't have 50 followers,
Now you,
desperate times may call for desperate
yeah.
measures.
Now you
But
mentioned,
I still don't support it.
yeah. You mentioned something, your distaste for stream teams. Let's kind of poke at the bear.
And again, I think that there's lots of ways to dive into this, and again, I'm sure there are plenty of stream teams out there
Hold on,
that
hold on,
really go
hold
ahead.
on.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's even before we get too deep into this. I just thought about it. Let's
Sure.
separate this. Let's do your so-called teams or your orgs,
Hmm.
and then your actual Twitch stream teams, your actual Twitch teams. Right, because there are
Okay.
Twitch sponsored teams. So let's go with orgs, like your Twitter orgs and these guys, and then your stream teams. So let's start with the orgs because that's what I think we're talking about typically.
Yeah, much more. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
So
Make it clear
I think we're talking about our
public.
orgs specifically, and then we can kind of mention stream teams after that.
Yeah, which calling it an organization it's an organization of people. It's in no way some big big funded group that you're becoming a part of. It's just somebody coming together, bringing some other streamers in and saying, "Hey, let's do this and call ourselves this and brand things and do tournaments and make esports teams and big dreams for all of them." Which is good. Some of them might actually get away with it and accomplish it, and good for them. But I think that these streamer orgs, for the most part, they become very empty. Just somebody joins it because they want to get followed by a bunch of other people. It's I joined this one group and I get 50 follows. That seems like a benefit to me. But what you always have to realize, just like you were talking about with the hashtag support small streamers and things like that, everybody joining these like small streamer organizations, they're all looking for the same thing. They want people to come watch their content. But a bunch of small streamers is really not your ideal audience. You want the Twitch viewers, the people who are already out there watching other small streamers who have the time to come watch you. So these streamer orgs, and there's so many, like, people get upset if you're not supporting, but then they won't support you, and it just gets to these weird expectations that nobody ever seems to meet, and I don't know, man. It's just a cluster. It's a desperate move to try to get yourself to grow. And I'm sure, again, there might be plenty of organizations out there who've gotten big. They've done it right. There's been somebody at the head of this thing who really does want to help small streamers grow. It's not somebody trying to grow themselves. So, I don't know. They may have their place. It's not for me. Not now. Maybe down the road. Who knows? I don't know.
So yeah, orgs. I would say I'm right there with you that in the idea that most of the time an org is designed to be something along the lines of a pyramid scheme, right?
Yeah,
everything flows up, and if you're not supporting certain leaders or certain brand managers or whatever they call them, right? Like certain individuals or team leaders or whatever it is, right? Then you're not getting your recognition, or you're not going to get support back, or whatever it is, right? And let's be honest, a lot of that is lurked content anyways. I think out of the two organizations that I've joined, that I have been a part of, have maybe three people, maybe three people out of two organizations. You being one of them at one point in time, right? I mean, it's and even in that, the intention is that we connected with each other. It wasn't for the purpose that the team brought us content. Maybe the team got us in the same space, but once it reaches that point, here's what I would like to say on that. I think orgs can be good if you treat it like a space to meet individuals, to collaborate with and connect with, and kind of if you're treating it like a networking environment. But if you're using the same idea as follow for follow, and you're saying, "Hey, retweet my go live tweet," no, I'm not going to retweet your go live tweet. I want my go live tweet to be on top of my feed, right? Like, no, I don't want to retweet your stuff. That's mine's the important one right now. Like, and you know, get your own Twitter followers. Come on, dude. Like,
yeah.
It comes to a point to where, like, yes, I'm trying to be supportive of you, and if I'm available, sure, I'll come and watch your stream. But if I'm not available, don't make me feel like I'm obligated to, or like, don't make me feel bad, and don't make me feel like I have to have my phone with a Twitter tab or a Twitch tab open. Otherwise, I'm gonna get kicked out. Like, I've only got so much battery life, guys. You know, I don't have a free data plan.
If you don't enjoy their content, you don't need to go back.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I'll go watch it one time, and then I'm like, no, okay, we need to change gears here.
You know what? Don't take offense, because that's okay. Not everybody is going to like your content. God forbid.
What are you talking about? Everybody loves our content.
Yeah, I mean, us, we're different. We're an exception, obviously. You know?
But so that, I mean, and so I think you can use an org, right? And I've used an org a few times, right? Like, and mainly, what it always turns out to, at least for me, what it always turns out to is like, oh, that's the tech guy. That's the tech guy. I want to reach out to him. Hey, what's going on with this mic? Hey, I need this. Hey, I need this. God. And totally let me put this in a place that I'm not trying to say that I don't like that. Right? Like, I totally get it, and I totally appreciate it, and those are my talents. Those are my talents, and I like using my talents, and I'm totally supportive if people need help. I'm not trying to call that out, but that's usually what it turns into, right? And I mean, that's okay, right? But I facilitate that role, and that's how I network with people, and that's how I kind of try to grow. Like, I don't try to say, hey, I'm going to subscribe to everybody in here because I want everybody to come and hang out with me. Like, if I subscribe to 50 people, then I should get 50 subscribers myself, right? Like, no, it's not the way that works, right? It's not how this happens. It's not the way things go, right? But
I've had moments where I was watching a fellow organization member stream, subscribe to their content. I enjoyed it. Somebody I would go back and watch stream again. And I was messaged later that evening by another fellow org member saying, I saw you in the Twitch stream tonight for such and such. You think you could come to mine tomorrow and subscribe to my channel as well? And I was like, yeah. I was so put off by that. You never ask for subscribers. If people want to do so, that is up to them. That's awesome that they feel like they enjoy the content enough to support it. But especially too from someone we're in a group with, like coming to me asking for me to come to your channel because you saw me subscribe to somebody else. It's just so shallow. I was so disappointed. I left that organization that night.
I have never
in the chat. I was like, I'm good.
I have never heard of that before. That is crazy.
Right?
Hey, you subscribe to somebody. Come subscribe to me too. No, that's my money.
Yeah.
Excuse me? No.
Yeah. And like part of me wanted to be flat out like, well, you know what? If I enjoyed your content, I might subscribe. But again, I try to be a better person than that when I'm in these things. And so I want to be the nice, friendly guy that everybody has fun with.
I'm the worst. I'm the worst. And I'm the worst Twitch viewer. I'm gonna be honest, and everybody listening to me right now, everybody in my chat, everybody hanging out, everybody in Hopper's chat right now, and anybody who listens to this, I'll be your best friend. I'll help you, and this is why I help everybody I can because I don't have the money to subscribe. I mean, I'm being very, very, very honest. You know how many people I subscribe to on Twitch right now, Hopper?
How many?
2.
2? Nice.
Yes. And one of those is a Prime subscription.
Hey, it's a good thing, man.
I mean, it is not for the intention of saying, you know, but I will do everything I can.
Man.
I will do self for self. Yeah. Which doesn't work out. By the way, that doesn't work out on Twitch. I'll touch on that in a second. I mean, it doesn't work out I will do everything I can to help anybody else I can. You know, if you ask me a question, I will do everything in my power to answer it, you know, and that's how I like to support others. I don't necessarily have the financial benefits. I wish I did. I wish I could subscribe to everybody I thought had amazing content. I just can't.
You know what? I think the advice and the giving them your time to try to help better their product, their content, I think that's worth more than a subscription, you know?
I wish everybody felt that way.
Yeah.
Now, what did I just say? What did I just say? We'll get back to that. Oh, sub for sub. By the way, let's talk about that. Sub for sub does not work on Twitch.
No.
It does on you. Like, it might work on YouTube, but it doesn't work on Twitch because you're losing money on sub for sub. Like, let's be honest about this. It doesn't work that way. You'd be better off gifting a sub to somebody.
Yeah.
And then them gifting you a sub to their channel. Like, you'd be better off doing that than you would. Actually, it comes out to break even, I think, if you do it that way too. I'm like, that doesn't really work that way.
Yeah. But they still ask. They still try. Which, man, so many things just get me. But again, it's like you said, there's so many people out there trying to be the next big streamer, trying to make this thing a career. And it's either they're not doing the research, or it becomes a mob mentality where they see all these other people saying follow for follow, hashtag small streamer. I mean, I'm guilty. I did the hashtag small streamers thing for a while in the beginning, but it's because I was so just ignorant to the information out there. I wasn't looking for it. I started to do my research and find all this stuff out. I stopped doing that. I stopped posting going live tweets on my Twitter because I didn't want that to be all that was on my Twitter feed was just Game Hopper's gone live. The Game Hopper's gone live. The Game Hopper's gone live. The Game Hopper's like, that's not what people want to come watch. They're not going to know anything about me from that.
Sure.
So
that's going to be
you got to look up information and put it to use.
That's going to be an interesting one that I'm looking at. I'm going to test. I'm actually going to test. So typically I do a go live tweet. I really do.
Okay.
And there's a whole mixture in there. Like when I hit go on my touch portal, it changes my Twitter title to say that I'm live. It posts a go live tweet, all that kind of stuff. But like we've mentioned in the past, I have always done, like every stream, I do a unique picture. Right. Yeah. I do like a unique photo, or I do something crazy, or I do a GIF, or I do something, I do something weird every time, or I post a clip from a previous stream or something like that. Right. Like I have some way of making that a unique tweet. Right. Instead of just saying, hey, I'm gone live and posting a link to my Twitch. Right.
Yeah.
So I've tried to do it that way, but I'm going to do a test for like a month and see if eliminating that changes the engagement rate that I get, one, in stream, and two, the engagement rate I get in stream and the engagement rate I get on Twitter, right? Because I get a very, very interesting value on Twitter in terms of engagement. Like sometimes I'll post a tweet and it'll get like 20 likes and 10 retweets in an instant, right? It just seems to happen. And I'm like, how did all these people see this so fast? Right. And then I'll post another one that I think is an amazing, like it's very informative or it's amazing, and it'll just die. Like it's just, I'll go look at the impressions, and the impressions just don't exist. Right. It's just like,
you're excited about it. You're like,
nobody saw it.
Check how many this reaches in the next hour, and it's 0. And
it's like nobody saw it. And I'm like, I'm really curious on if certain tweets that you do post cause your engagement to change. Like if you post enough unengaging tweets, does Twitter knock you down in the algorithm or something? So I want to do some kind of funky, I'm trying to do some kind of self-test, some kind of analytics thing to see about changing around. One of the weirdest things is I used to post a tweet every time I got a new follower on Twitter, right? Like, hey, thanks.
I remember that.
Hey, thanks for the follow.
I was always annoyed seeing that in my feed that Qualizar has tweeted out, thanks for the follow. I'm like, God, I'm going to stop seeing these. How do I stop seeing these?
Yeah, so I turned that off. But the problem is I used to like that, right? Because I would actually go in there and I would look at it and I'd be like, hey, thank you for, and I would respond to it and say, hey, this is the way I engage to see that I actually got a new follower, because I want to engage and I want to say, hey, I really do appreciate the follow. What about my content do you like? What do you need? What do you, like kind of thing like that. Like I'm actually trying to engage with the individual, right? And because there's no other way to see like when new followers come. There's no like timeline that you can go to say, here's all your new followers for the day, right? So then you go to Twitter analytics and you're like 85 new followers, and I'm like, what the heck? Where do they all go? Like, how do I engage with these people? Right? Just keep tweeting, right? Like that's tweeting, yeah. what did I talk? Oh yeah. Got one more thing about Twitter, actually.
Sure.
Did you see that? Well, you may not have seen it. The change that Twitter made to automatically change the comments availability for Twitter. It's interesting. It's really interesting that Twitter's taking this approach, right? Twitter has historically been this public platform. Like you have a private Twitter, right? You can make your Twitter private and you can, block it from only people that follow you. And then you had the opportunity to, have it public, and anybody who sees your tweet can respond to it. You now have the ability to set it to where only people who follow you, only people you follow. Is it only people you follow? It's like only people who follow you or only people you follow can comment on it. And then there's an option for only people that you tag in the tweet can comment on it.
Whoa.
So it turns into a thing like if you post a tweet and don't tag anybody, nobody can comment on your tweet, which is just an interesting approach from Twitter because it's always been this public kind of mindset.
Yeah.
But I kind of like when I first saw it, I was like, whoa, this is kind of weird. Like it's taking the opportunity for you to engage with people in a public forum and eliminating it, right? Or having the opportunity for them to eliminate it if they post something controversial. Yeah. If they post something controversial, like you don't have the opportunity to debate it. But at the same time, we've been having such an issue recently with this cancel culture.
Oh my God.
Now you have the opportunity to kind of say, hey, I'm trying to post this tweet out there, but I don't want 800 people.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to hear it. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to use Karen. I don't want 800 Karens to tell me that they're going to go call my manager, right? Like that's not what I want, right? Like that's not what I'm looking for here. Yeah. So I can set it to where only people who follow me or whatever, right? Like you can set it up to do that now. And I'm like, okay, I kind of get some of the idea where it eliminates the opportunity for cancel culture or cancel culture, right? And I was like, maybe, but then what's to stop people from just taking a snapshot of your tweet and then reposting it and then sharing it or something? You know what I mean? Like it kind of does something there.
Yeah. And they will. There's no stopping it. At the end of the day, it's the internet, People want to get your stuff out there, they will.
Oh, they'll do everything. They'll do everything.
But yeah, man. I'm not gonna lie I'm in no way a social media expert. I'm horrible with it. That's probably the worst part of my whatever you want to call it, content creation skills. I am very bad at being consistent with my social media, trying to get myself on multiple platforms. Very, very bad at it. I 100% respect the individuals who it is their profession to be social media experts and they do it well. God bless you, because it makes no sense. I just can't figure it out.
Dude, for me,
can't figure it out.
For me, it's such a freaking black hole. Like Twitter becomes a black hole. If I tried, my biggest growth periods on Twitter, I've done some things where I've really had some good opportunity to grow on Twitter, but I shouldn't say I should say but they have invested 6 hours on Twitter a day. It's been these weird you are just, you're literally grinding what you would be spending streaming or YouTubing or whatever. You are grinding a social media platform and you are looking for ways to break the mold, engage, connect, grow, right? And you're doing the same thing on a different, it's just on a different platform, and you got to find ways to network and connect with people. The benefit, I guess the benefit of Twitter over something like Twitch is that when you're not live, your content still exists, right? To some extent.
Yeah.
But nice. It's a little easier that way, but you should get to the point, Hopper, to where you do you should do a weekly clips thing or something like that. Like Hopper's funny moments of the week or something like that. Dude, you could do that so easily.
I'm not going to lie. I keep telling myself over and over that even just with YouTube, I want to get back to getting a weekly video out. And then I just sit there and I kick myself and I fight what do I want it to be? What kind of content? And honestly, it's one of those things where I just need to keep doing something, and then I can figure out what it needs to be as I go on. I can see what people like, see what people don't like. But posting nothing every week isn't going to do me as good as posting crap every week,
Yeah.
So at least people can look at crap. They can't look at nothing.
Let's look at it. Let's look at it this way, Hopper. Let's look at it this way, Hopper. Out of how many hours a week do you stream?
Let's see what. Well, 4 nights now instead of 5. 5 to 6. Yeah, so 20. Say on average about 20 hours.
You're telling me in 20 hours a week you can't get 10 minutes of comedy?
Oh, I could. I very well could. And all I need to do is probably just download the clips that because I hit the clip button on my fucking tablet all the time. And you know what? They're literally just sitting there in my video manager on Twitch. I haven't downloaded one probably in 2 months. It's a problem. I procrastinate. I'm a slacker. I nitpick my horrible qualities right now. I need to get better at it. It's one of those things that I need to, if I'm going to take it seriously, I got to sit down and I just got to either schedule at least like an hour of my day. Like first thing, sit here and just grab a clip, cut it together, post it, But I need to be more active with that.
And I know it. You need like two or three 5-minute videos a week of just comedy gold that just make people belly roll like my abs are hurting laughing, right? And then you get like, and then it just rolls. It's easy. I don't want to say it's easy, right? I'm not trying to say it's easy, right? But I think doing something like that is a simple start, right? And the best thing about YouTube,
not crazy editing, things like that. Keep it simple is the best place for me to be.
The best thing about the best thing about YouTube is if it really burns up in flames, you either delete the videos and just start new, or you create a new channel and just start fresh with something else. Like it doesn't really matter, right? Like you're not really losing a ton.
No, you're not wrong. I need the motivation. I'm not gonna say I don't have it. It's just the follow through. I'm always very bad at following through with stuff. And I'll give great advice, but do I follow it myself? That's a different story. I'm one of those people. I'm impressed I sit down and hit the go live button every night. It's that's about as far as my days get during this goddamn quarantine.
Oh my gosh.
But
that's funny. So
no, I need to I need to make myself accountable.
Let's do it.
I need to start like telling myself I'm going to do stream punishments unless I'm posting a weekly video or something.
There you go. Make your community hold you accountable.
My community hold me accountable. I'm sure they'd be fine with that. You lovely, lovely people.